Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard. And it is a beautiful, not too hot, not too cold day in Florida where I am. Happy to be here for a change, as opposed to the really hot days. And this is a ring pour cup, and this is an 18 by 24 inch canvas. And I have been feeling for a while like just playing with black and white, and also with ring pours. So my paints are shook up. And this is my first of a couple paintings. The next ones may have gold and silver in it, but all I really need to do is just decide how big my puddles of paint are and continue to, whoops, I don't think that's going to matter, to change them back and forth. I did make myself a gunmetal gray. I think I might be interested in putting that in there. You can't tell the difference. Okay, that might be not it. My glasses are right here, yeah. That will help. So I remember doing an accidental ring pour. I think there was a blooper splooge involved, and turned out to be looking like a zebra that hit a wall at about 100 miles an hour. I gotta quit doing that. Maybe if I put those right over here. So I've never done this before, and one of the things that's spurring me on is the fact that I've used my, here we go, my Princeton Catalyst Art Tool spatulas, which are an awesome conglomeration of shapes with nice thin edges. They run $5 to $10 depending on where you find them or whether they're on sale or not. You can find them on the Amazon link below my video if you look. Along with, where is it? Yeah, we'll be using that in a minute. My OXO omelet turning spatula. That is really and truly what it's called. So maybe less is more with this, because I'm thinking about spreading black and white paint on the canvas in a pattern also. So I'm just going to put that aside. This is just simple black and white. We shall see how it works. So this is my, like I said, my favorite spatula to spread paint with. And that's why, right there, nice even layer right out of the gate. I may or may not use it, but I just made up a little more black. I'm using my squeeze bottles of pre-mixed colors. The recipe is in the description below the video of the quantities. I got something in there that I can see. That's another good reason to use a spatula, because you can identify unidentifiable objects. And you can make a bead of paint along one edge, which I rather like. But I just don't feel like I never get used to the little space I work in with an 18 by 24 inch canvas, I gotta say. Because the turntable is only 16 by 16 inch tile resting on top of a ring, and the canvas is 18 by 24, as I mentioned. So what I really want to do is clean that off and get into the white paint. And I was going to get more elaborate, but I don't think I'm going to. I just want it done, to tell you the truth. And there's plenty of black on there, and it's not going to make any difference what's in there. This is all really and truly just meant to allow paint to spread and run. And putting my glasses on my face will help me immensely. When I'm my own worst enemy. So, I'm getting closer all the time to what I want. Don't think I used enough paint. That's okay, because it's right here. And of course, it's a little clogged. I am going to put screens in my bottles. By the time you see this, hopefully I've been to Home Depot, bought my screen material, and the marbles will stop getting caught in there. The marbles are in there, if you're interested, to mix the paint, and they work really well until you have a need to tip your bottle completely upside down, in which case they don't work very well at all at that point. So this is my last space over here. That is something in that paint. Like I said, I don't care what's on there right now, because black and white together create cool cells, and I thought no matter what else I do, I might want to just combine some black and white areas anyway, sort of like that, and then ring pour over them. I'll tap my edges with the paint on my spatula, and that will work. I can run my fingers down where I've got paint, and I can knock the paint off on the edge. And then I will put my spatula into my bucket of water, which I will dispose of in sand. I just came up with a pretty good idea today. If you're stuck in a little apartment, you may want to get a bucket, put some holes in the bottom, fill it full of a screen so sand can't leak out, fill it full of sand, and that way you can, if you're not using your tub all the time, you can probably safely dispose of that water without worrying too much about your pipes. So long as the paint has a place to go before it coats your pipes, you're good. If it's going to go right down your drain, you're going to need to talk to a plumber. Hopefully you know a good plumber that's not going to steer you wrong, and they will tell you, instead of me telling you, that that is not a good idea, putting paint water down your plumbing. Okay, so I've had enough of this, and that spatula is going into the bucket over here, and because I think I might want it again in a minute, I'm going to dry it off right quickly. And I'm going to start over here. I think I have an edge catcher somewhere. Actually, I'm not going to start over there because I have black paint as my beginning color, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I thought about this, and I want to make really small rings in really odd locations and start that way and see what happens when I tip, and then use what I've got in my ring pour to fill in afterwards. And that way, if they all look too much the same, what is that? I don't know what that is. That's just where the spatula hit it, I guess. Yeah, I can see canvas on my edge, and it's driving me nuts. Short trip. So, being that I have black and white, I can use more black and white from squeeze bottles if I don't really care for what's happening. And I'm not super thrilled yet, but it's an experiment, and experiments often look kind of fugly to begin with. Case in point, recent ring pour that was not beautiful to begin with. Okay, so I said I would, and I'm going to add some more paint. And paint flows to paint, so wherever I put paint, it will drag the other paint down with it. And I also have things like chain and beads that I can throw in there, and skewers and bamboo skewers and basting brushes, little silicone basting brushes. I think maybe if I start with one, I'm sorry you can't see me right now, if I start with one and tip it, then the others I can tip in different directions, maybe. I'm not sure about anything yet because this is all new. See the edge up there? It's way more abstract expressionist than it is ring pour. I like the little basting brush because it does pop cells. But I have some bare canvas there, and I think I want less bare canvas there. I like the texture too. So it doesn't really matter what I intended on doing, it's what I'm doing that counts. And that's kind of cool. It's nothing to write home about yet, I suppose. And I do have, because I have the squeeze bottles, there's always, you know, the opportunity to decide that gold would work well in there, as opposed to just leaving it as something that's sort of lackluster. So much for the ring pour. It's still fun. I'm having fun. I guess that counts. And you can see all those cells up there, so really we could swipe pretty easily with just about anything, and that would be alright with me. So I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing, and I'll add some more paint if I want to. And that's basically called a ribbon pour. And I like some of the other things I have going on in here, and I don't really want to let them loose, so I'm going to have to tip my canvas a different way to save them. And then maybe tip it back. And I have paper over to the side, actually plastic I mean, meant to catch paint if it runs off. And from there I usually pick it back up with one of my little spatulas. So that's not terrible. I kind of want to use an edge catcher, but it's not handy yet. And I'm not hating what's going on. We got 7 minutes left, which is not a lot of time. I think I want to just go ahead and play fast and loose with paint. Which means adding texture where I want. Sounds like I got a lizard on my table. Try not to pick up too much paint so I can make texture. That's kind of cool. I like that. I've always wanted to just have a good time making textures. And that's this. Having a good time, at least. So being that I don't know when I'm going to be done with this, I've got quite a bit of paint left, which I'm not sure what will happen to yet. Lots of times I put my lines down and I just want to keep them. And I've found recently that putting the basting brush through things is kind of cool. In a lot of different ways. Like so. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I'm going to do that again, right up here. I can see, I don't mind that white down there actually. I think I'm going to pull out a little spatula and I can see some canvas. I guess my white is gone. Oh well. So that's a little exciting, huh? I'm not talkative because I've never done this before and I'm just having such a good time playing with my textures. I keep looking at those cells going, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have some more of those somewhere else? So I'll add a few more here and there, maybe. I guess my rings didn't really work too badly. They popped a lot of cells. Let's find out what happens when we torch. Try and push that back up. There's a lot going on in there. And I keep seeing things I want to change just a little bit. And if I put a straight line of paint down, as you can see, I can then drag my basting brush through it and create some pretty cool marks. I'm not unhappy with that. I want to tell you guys that if you'd like to help my studio out, I have links to PayPal and Patreon, and I take contributions very happily. And I want to thank all the people who've contributed already. There's a contest running. I don't know if this will be in that contest, but there may be another one. And it goes to a studio tour that I posted in November 2018. I'm assuming that these videos might be around for a while. And you should probably check. This is actually really cool. I like it. And maybe I should torch again. So Underneath the video is my link to Amazon, and on it are things that I like that I put there that you might like too. And if you check it out and you go shopping there, that helps me at no added cost to you. Kind of want some spirals, you know. Yeah, maybe just some anomalous. Utilize what's there. I want some white paint though. I got 2 minutes now. I got no time. So I'm going to put some paint on my skewer. Yeah, and I'm going to drip it. And create some texture down there. Because that's what I want to do. And now that I see that... No, that's not what I had in mind. Okay, never mind. I'm going to have to fix that. I don't mind them getting a little more organic looking though, which is all that I assume is going to happen. Chopping them up, making them look a little less uniform. I think the basting brush was a better tool, but I also think I put it in the bucket. So, quick dry. Yeah, better texture. So, at the bottom of the description under the video are links to my Facebook albums that contain the wet and dry artworks from YouTube, and they're priced. And you can contact me about anything you want to buy, because everything is for sale. There are over 330 videos, so if you're interested in the videos, please have a watch, have some fun. Please, by all means, please, please, please give me a thumbs up. It helps my standing on YouTube. I think it helps me have a bigger audience. I think it shares what I have with more people. So I really appreciate that too, very much. I have Teespring clothing that you see, so far anyway, t-shirts and leggings and really cool stuff. If you press on any one of those, you might be able to follow and get to my store. This is pretty cool. I'm liking it. I think I want one more. I do. I love black and white. Black and white is a ball. That's the timer saying that I got a couple minutes left to tell you whatever I need to tell you, which is fine. And probably torch. And I see I've got paint all over my end, which is perfect. As the paint falls down, then I can cover it with my thumb. And I'll check that after you're gone before I go take a picture for Instagram, which reminds me I have an Instagram link along with those Facebook volumes 1 and 2 albums, and my Pinterest boards are down there also. Inside the video is the description of the paint pouring recipe. If you need it, that's where to find it. I got all kinds of cool stuff going on, and I like it. I like all of it. I like this black here. And I think I want it to come this way, though. Yeah, create a little more depth. That's okay with me. So, this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio, floundering. I think I've told you everything I need to tell you. It seemed to take longer in the past. Kind of hate telling you, but you know what? This is my only source of income, so I really appreciate you guys. There was almost 37,000 of you as I was making this today. And that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do I want to? Oh no, maybe I don't. You know what? I did, so never mind. That's probably fine. So I'm going to torch again, and we torch to release the bubbles in the paint and to release patterns. And we have some pretty great patterns. It's a little busy, but as I get practice and I allow myself to use some canvases for black and white, I'll get better at it. I'd like to pull some chain and see what happens. But I've got a cup of color and I'm going to use it.